We have left the Calico ghost town and are now headed to Death Valley National Park. This is just one of the many videos on my Rambling with Phil YouTube channel. So please go ahead and subscribe right now and ring that bell to be notified of new videos as they're released. And please also check out my other videos after you finish watching this video. We're entering Death Valley Junction, elevation 2000. There's the garage.
Here's the opera house.
Amargosa Opera House. How many different poses can we do in front of the Death Valley sign? Pay entrance fee up ahead. So there seems to be some kind of a, I don't know, pass or something, or some kind of a valid sticker that we have to get, that we have to put on the dash. So Joanne is going to the self-serve kiosk. Hopefully it will be self-explanatory when you get up there. She asked the guy who kind of looks like Ken Chow a question. So apparently if you have an annual pass, you do not need to stop at this kiosk. You just need to go to the visitor center where you will show your annual pass, and then they will give you this little ticket thing to put on your dash. Zabriskie Point. Somehow I don't think where those people are parked is parking, because I think this is like for RV. We are at the legendary Death Valley. This is Zabriskie Point, which is what you heard me say when we pulled in. And up there, I think, is Zabriskie Point. Okay, the Badlands. We went to the Badlands. That's in another state. It's 100 yards one way, so we don't have to come back. Okay, here we are, walking up the paved trail. And that's where we're walking to. It's getting a little steeper. This reminds me of the Clingman Dome hike. This is very steep. And over here to my right is also Death Valley. Wow. Holy. Man, look at all those colors. Not a lot of death there. But there is a valley. Alright. I guess this really is a must not miss. I'm back over here. Man, definitely worth it. Oh, looks like we can walk down here. I mean, even like out there, there's like different colors on those mountainy, hilly type things. This is the inn at Death Valley, next to the dip. The inn at Death Valley. Interesting.
The bad water is that way, but let's go to elevation C.
Wow. So here we are. Elevation sea level. Now we're going down. I think the low, whatever, the lowest point in Death Valley is like 200 feet below sea level, isn't it? Something like that?
Yeah.
We're now below sea level. We are not keeping our heads above the water. Shouldn't there be like a big sign that says visitor center? Oh, there's a gas station. $6.50. Keep it up.
Valley sign. Alfred's Creek or something.
This is the visitor center here. I don't need gas that bad.
Arrived.
Look at how this guy parks. What if I'm in a wheelchair? There's the temperature today at Death Valley. Every 1,000 feet higher is 5 degrees Fahrenheit cooler. Every 300 meters higher is 3 degrees Celsius. Here is a 3D map of Death Valley. Furnace Creek fuel, $6.49 a gallon. Well, when they got you, they got you.
That's just for the regular stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like $7 an hour for premium, or $7 a gallon.
Next service is 57 miles. We're not going that far, right?
Well, we're gonna go farther than that in the end.
Okay, we're turning at sea level.
And then we go down.
Golden Canyon, only 2 miles. Badwater, 17. Flash floods, next 55. Stay on designated roads. Here we are, headed down to Badwater. Not the good stuff. That stuff's expensive. Devil's Golf Course.
Which is different than Devil's Elbow.
Yeah. It's different than Devil's Elbow, which is in Florida. Different than Devil's Tower, which is in Wyoming. We are on the road to Devil's Golf Course in Death Valley. At the moment, I am in two-wheel drive. This road's fine. I don't need to be in all-wheel or anything. I mean, heck, if that guy can make it, I can make it. This is no different than the roads in certain Florida counties.
That shall remain nameless.
Yes, that shall remain nameless.
And this stuff is like sharp because it's like, you know, hardened, whatever. So just be careful if you decide to go over.
You could lose a limb.
I mean, clearly you can climb out there, just don't hurt yourself.
Okay, so here we are. We're like at, I don't know, is this the bottom of Death Valley? So this is not the bottom. We're not at the Badlands or Badwater. But this is the Devil's Golf Course. This stuff is very clay-like. As far as the eye can see, this is the bottom of the riverbed. It is like really dry here. And the reason I can say that it's really dry is because I don't see any water. Oh, and look, there's someone who's making good use of their collision waiver, damage waiver. All right, we're going to make, hey, that looks like some kind of a, I don't know, animal track. Like maybe like a bobcat or something. All right, we are going to make our way out here. Be very careful. Here's the close-up of that white stuff. It's hard. So you can walk on the stuff on top, or you can walk on the bottom. Make sure you're wearing proper footwear. No flip-flops. This stuff's like hard. This stuff's like hard as rock. We made it. We're gonna do like a 180. Shoo! I did not want to fall. Alright, the trick is don't walk around. Yeah, this stuff will really hurt if we fall on it. I chose to put my foot in a place where it wasn't solid. That is a mistake. We're far. We're in a land far, far away from our vehicle. But look at, now that it's all lit up, look at how vast this is. I mean, just look at it. What is it and where is it? I don't know. People are looking for it. It sounds like a spaceship. Could be coming from anywhere. I mean, we've got sound bouncing off the walls, off the mountains. There are a lot of surfaces. I don't think there's supposed to be a launch. Never really, I didn't realize, but this is how far the road is, or how far we have to go away from the road. That's a long ways. You can barely see the road down there, the paved road. But you can, see the cars going left and right. So it is a pretty far distance. You wouldn't want to walk it in the middle of the summer. But it is a nice view of those mountains or whatever those things are over there, the hills. Alright, we're continuing on to Badwater. Devil's Golf Course is on our right and sort of behind us now. So, well, it actually is still on our right.
Yeah, we can still see all.
Alright, we're continuing forward. And according to the compass on the car, we are headed southeast. Badwater, Badwater. And there's people. Right lane must turn right into the parking lot where there's not much parking. Could park on the road up ahead, I guess. I don't know. Well, we can drive through and see if there's a spot.
Yeah.
So we're not just at the side of the road.
And then worst case scenario, we can be at the side of the road.
Yeah.
On the other side.
Of course, there's that guy's just sitting, he's waiting. I don't know if he's waiting for someone over there. There's some people there.
If you're gonna go. Don't block the whole world.
I know, right? It looked like there was people getting into a car over there. Maybe that's why he was waiting, but those people don't look like they're leaving.
I would rather at least just drive through here, as long as people aren't taking
Speaking
forever.
of not going, that lady in the Lexus there, and then this person's just sitting back here. Come on.
Just go around them then.
What are you doing?
I didn't want him to beat me. Of course, now that this guy was doing the same thing. It's like, look, just go. Now those people are actually leaving. So that guy, guy just passed it. And there.
I'll let him take that spot.
They're just getting here. Yeah, see? We're helping you out, man. That guy can park there. We can park there.
I mean, the guy was just waiting. It's like, gosh. It's like, number 2 or get off the spot.
That's
get
right.
Off the spot. There's water down there.
That's the river.
There's the river. This is Badwater.
And we have this little bridge so we don't walk on the water.
All right, shall we head down? Oh look, there's a parking spot right there.
Again, this is not snow.
Yeah, this is like very fine sand. There are signs here. There are signs here that say don't walk out there. Because I believe it may have something to do with the natural ecosystem and it's very sensitive. So we want to be very careful. You want to walk out there, that's where the Devil's Golf Course is.
Bad water. Don't drink.
Yeah.
Bad.
Bad water pool. Ancient aquifer.
Good life in bad water. Water is rare and precious in Death Valley.
Oh, it's like salty, huh?
Imagine this is the disappointment when a surveyor mapping this area could not get his mule to drink from this pool. He wrote on his map that the spring had bad water, and the name stuck. Bad water pool is not poisonous, just salty, as the presence of pickleweed, aquatic insects, and larvae proves impossible.
Alright, so we're gonna take a picture over here in front of this sign. This is the view at the back of the sign. Alright, so this is still, oh look, somebody wrote something on the back here. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Salt flats. Okay. Well, that explains the salty water. Although it does look like, looking at the path way out there, that does look like that's a common path there. But I don't know if that's a sanctioned spot, right? So this area here is an area where a lot of people walk. And I believe this is sanctioned because
Water. Bad water. Bad water.
because the ramp back there ends and it kind of continues on that way. There's actually like a hump here in the middle, almost like some vehicle had driven down here. You may think that I'm doing like a selfie video, but actually what I'm doing is I'm taking video of the mountains behind me because they're really cool. But I am also kind of like taking a selfie video. Watch out for holes.
People like to dig holes in the path to search for water. Bad water.
So now we're gonna do what I call a 360. And the reason I call it a 360 is because it's 360 degrees of view. Now that I've had a chance to like calm down a little bit, so as we were entering the parking lot here at Badlands, there's a lot of people here, okay? I acknowledge that. But do not stop at the beginning of the parking lot. Do not stop at the beginning of the parking lot and then wait to see who backs out. Drive down, somebody will be backing out. There were 2 people who were doing that. And as I drove by the second guy, he gave me this dirty look, like, how dare you drive by me? So, hey, don't block the road. And actually, that's what he was actually doing too. He drove his car across the entrance to the one side of the parking lot. So anyways, I drove by him. There was an open spot. I drove past it. Why? Because I actually saw other people backing out farther up. And here's the other thing. The interesting thing is, and I know I sound like I'm complaining or like, you know, like ranting, but here's the other thing. The interesting thing is that...
Walk around. I'm trying to keep you from falling into a hole.
Oh, I'm not going to fall in that hole. So anyways, the interesting thing is that there were a bunch of open spots at the other end of the parking lot. So he didn't have to, like, wait there to see who would back out. And nobody's gonna back out of an empty spot because nobody's in the spot. So anyways, I got in a spot. There are actually 2 beside each other. And did I actually like park in both spots? No, I parked in one because there's 2 spots and I have 1 vehicle. So anyway, that's my PSA for today at the parking lot at, I want to say Badlands because I've been to Badlands. Check out my video. But at Badwater and Death Valley. And yes, this is a Death Valley rant. There is the parking lot.
The one from your story.
The one from my story. And there are people that are parked on the road down there because I mean there are a lot of people here, so there are a lot of cars. One more view of Badwater and Death Valley where 1 million people are walking. Or there have been 1 million people maybe that have walked through here. We are currently leaving Badwater in Death Valley. We're still in Death Valley. Oh, it's getting cooler now. We're still in Death Valley, but we're like heading towards an exit. I guess actually we're heading towards 2 exits and away from a 3rd. But anyways, we are just leaving Badwater area, and I hope you enjoyed my rant, if that was included in this video. We are leaving Badwater and Death Valley. We are turning onto Artist Drive, I believe it's called.
It's the
Or
artist, yeah, Artist Drive for the Artist Palette.
For the Artist Palette. The vehicle length cannot be over 25 feet, and I guess you can't have a trailer either. It is a paved road. It's one way in one direction. And we shall see what we are going to see. And so will you if you're watching. If you continue to watch the video, which I hope that you will. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. But we are in Death Valley, otherwise known as Death Valley. Interestingly enough, I saw a book in the visitor center that was in French, and it wasn't called Death Valley. It was called Valley of the Dead. It's the literal translation of it. But it was, what was it? Le Vallée du Mort. Or, in a different accent, La Vallée du Mort. But that's Valley of the Dead.
As opposed to Death Valley.
Yes. And I always say, or I have been saying very much, this is Death Valley, not to be confused with Valley of the Dead, which I'm pretty sure is in a different place. And if you know where that is, why don't you leave me a message?
Comment below.
Comment below. And in case you're wondering why my voice sounds so weird right now, it's because I'm eating licorice. And you can't see it. Yeah, I can see the Artist Palette from my front seat. See, looking at something is good use of your eyes. That looks like my cousin Clem.
It does.
Maybe it is. No, he looks younger.
What I'm like.
I don't think my cousin is a subscriber. But if you're watching, Clem, because Clem might not even know I'm on here. But if you're watching, Clem, subscribe. If you know Clem, talk to him, tell him to subscribe. I would like to get to my goal of 1,000 subscribers, and I'm only a little more than 700 subscribers away. Help me get there.
So this is the actual artist palette. Before it was just like pretty rocks.
That is the artist palette. Okay, so we are now continuing north. We just passed the Furnace Creek Visitor Center, which is in Death Valley. But we're heading north. We are on our way out of the park at this point. We are actually headed to Nevada for a few minutes. Well, maybe more than a few minutes, but we're not like heading to Nevada for like to stay there. We're just heading there to go to a ghost town and also to get gas.
And maybe a bite to eat.
And a bite to eat. We're headed to Ryolite, which is the name of the town. It is kind of famous if you know about ghost towns. Well, this day is turning out to be a little bit longer than anticipated, but it's because we're having fun.
Yes, we're interested in doing things.
And the sheriff's deputy stopped me for about 10 minutes. I'm getting tired, so I'm gonna go to sleep. Welcome to Nevada.
You didn't really need to do that.
Oh, there's a guy coming. Alright, so we are in Nevada, as you saw, and we are headed to Ryolite. So there's the Ryolite sign. U.S. Department of the Interior. This is a historic town site. The signage is not like super terrific here. So we're just at the start of Ryolite. These are kind of like the first few buildings, although some of them, I think those ones on the right don't look as original. I do notice over here a barrel and maybe some old, these look like old school desks, actually. I don't know if these are original. Oh, we won't be here for too long. Oh, they're reading the sign from the car. This says HD and LD Porter 1906. And there are some grates here. Not sure why those are there. We're continuing onward and upward towards that building over there ahead of us. Wow, that looks like somebody's house.
Yeah.
And there's like Joshua trees.
Yeah, several.
Casino.
Interesting.
Ready for some gambling time?
There are some people down there that are using the restrooms. There are restrooms here. We can do like these people and drive up next to the sign.
Cook Bank Building. Wow.
Do not enter. Peligro. Danger.
It's the most iconic building in Ryolite and is one of the most photographed ruins in Nevada. John Cook and his brother started the John S. Cook and Company Bank in Goldstone, Nevada in January 1905. Later that same year, they opened a new branch in Ryolite. The bank's first location was in a rented building on Main Street, but after buying this lot on Golden Street, construction of the Cook Bank building began in spring of 1907.
So it's not a bank of cooked food.
No, it is not.
food.
I have never seen a bank of cooked food. This is the Overbury building. John Overbury, a native of Orange, New Jersey, came to Nevada in 1902 and made his fortune in the early days of the Tonopah mining boom. Like many of his peers, he came to Ryolite hoping to be a part of the new big boom. Local newspapers chronicled Overbury's arrival in a swell Oldsmobile. The next spring, he ordered a second Oldsmobile and, per the Ryolite Herald, drove author Jack London down from Goldfield and out to Death Valley. The building was meant to be 2 stories tall. However, after John Cook began constructing a 3-story building just up the street, Overbury quickly changed his mind and his building became 3 stories tall as well. It's one of the first general-purpose buildings in Ryolite and the largest stone building.
It doesn't look like it's that old. I mean, you look at the stone, it looks like it's newer. But, I don't know.
1907.
Just like the concrete looks newer too. Maybe they've done a couple of things to it, I don't know. Heading to the spooky statues, the official name of the spooky statues.
The Ryolite Schoolhouse.
There is what looks like a tombstone that says school. I have 60 miles on the tank. So I thought maybe there was something on the front of those statues, but there is not. Okay, so here we are. What is this? I don't know. It appears to be a bench of some kind. Oh yeah, here's the circle, the rock circle thingy. Apparently if you go to the middle, there's some kind of energy thing. Wow, just look at the background there, the way the sun's just, or the rest, you know, the sunset and the light coming over the mountains. The Last Supper, 1981, by A. Sukalski. Oh yeah.
That's the one I was talking about.
That looks like, yeah, Minecraft.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I'm...
And then you're like, but and you're like sound so surprised and like offended, like, oh, but this is a historical.
Yeah, well, that's obviously not historical. And neither is that.
I thought that was part of it, so I was like, oh man, it's got a creepy statue.
But I mean, so like this says, this is in when did they do this? 1984. So it's not like it's the ghost town, you know, historical.
I can
Oh,
build them. My God.
origami.
Origami.
I made one. I used to know how to make one of those.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. I don't remember. All right, so we have low fuel. I said that I thought that we could make it to a gas station and not get the $6+ almost $7 gas. $7 gas per gallon. $7 per gallon gas at the Death Valley gas station. And I think we will make it to Beatty in order to get regular priced gas. And Beatty is in Nevada, so we're not even getting California priced gas. So here we go. We are leaving Ryolite, which is the ghost town in Nevada, just outside of Death Valley National Park. And this is the Scary Statue Road. It's bumpy, it's not paved. So this is what you'll see on the drive from Ryolite to Beatty. It's pretty much a road to Beatty. Not to be confused with the road to Hana or Haleakala or all those other roads I've mentioned in previous videos. Reduce speed ahead, that must mean we're getting close. I see lights. Town is ahead. And it's downhill, which means if we ran out of gas, we could coast into town and into the gas station.
So, and restaurants include Gemma's Cafe, Smokin' Jay's Barbecue.
The Arco station is past the first stop sign in town.
There's Smokin' Jay's Barbecue.
Oh, they got a casino in here. Interesting. All right, there's the Arco.
Yes.
With 1 million people getting gas here today. So at Death Valley, there's actually a lot to do there, and it's like the biggest national park in the U.S.?
It is the biggest national park outside of Alaska.
Oh, outside of Alaska. So there's a lot to see. Make sure you have lots of gas when you go in there, or at least enough.
So you don't have to pay
At the light,
$6
use the right
plus a
2
gallon.
lanes to turn onto
And
CA02.
also, the other thing is, at Death Valley Junction, they have expensive gas there too. Just a FYI.
Turn right.
So it's not just like it's the gas station in the Death Valley National Park, but there's a gas station in Death Valley Junction, which is outside of the park. And it's pretty expensive there too. It was like, it was cheaper. I mean, it was $1 cheaper. It was $5.71, I think, if I recall, for regular unleaded. But there's a lot to see there. You could spend multiple days there. We didn't see everything.
We hit the highlights.
Yeah, we hit the highlights. Zabriskie, is that the name of the Zabriskie Point? We went there. There's a lot of nice, I guess, the colors on the mountains and the striations. That's very cool in that particular location. We also went to the Devil's Golf Course. And I'm not exactly sure why they call it the Devil's Golf Course. But could be dangerous if you're not paying attention. You could definitely get hurt if you fall once you're outside of the parking lot. You know, if you're walking on the jagged rocks.
I think that we enjoyed that more than Badwater Basin. I mean,
Yeah.
Badwater Basin is cool because of it's the official low point, but other than walking out into the,
Yeah.
hinterlands, I don't know that there's really anything to do. Whereas you were able to kind of climb out onto, all the dried bits of,
dried and jagged.
Yeah.
Whereas Badwater was basically like almost like a flat walking trail of, like hard packed sand.
And there were tons of people at Badwater
Yeah.
Basin, whereas there's only a handful at Devil's Golf Course, and we were able to get some really great pictures, being out there with like hardly anybody there.
Yeah. And I didn't have an issue with parking at Devil's Golf Course. I didn't have an issue with parking at Badwater. I had an issue with the way people were behaving or driving in the parking lot at Badwater. So there is a difference. It's not a nuance. It's just a fact. But if you're in the southeastern or southern California area, and you are looking for a national park to go to, Death Valley is pretty cool. You may want to check it out. Obviously, you've already seen that part of the video, or I hope you have. Trying to avoid hitting a car here, this nice Porsche Panamera. But
In 2.6 miles,
we
turn
just
left
passed
onto Air
456
Expressway Boulevard.
from Squid Games.
Oh.
Well, I don't know, it was a guy with red hair like that, same thing. But anyways, if you're in the Death Valley area, Southern California, Southeast California, there's some homeless guy like dancing back there. He was happy. But anyways, if you're in that area and you're looking for a national park to go to that's pretty cool to spend a lot of time at, that's probably a pretty interesting place that you might want to check out. So, check it out.